So we've gotten a lot of these stumps done. Some of them were kind of rotten, so they broke apart in chunks like this one. But like those over there, they were still, one on the left was a little dead, but the other one was not quite as old. All these have been at least down or cut off for a year or two at least. And some of them have been down for a while, 5-10 years maybe, some of them. And they chunk up really badly. But we still get them out of the ground. You still have a lot of the same results. Down here is a hillside. Not super steep, but just steep enough that if you had a walk behind or walk beside self-propelled stump grinder other than what we have, it would be a little bit of a pain. So we had probably about 10 down through here, and then they looped around on the other side of the hill over towards those poles. And then throughout the pasture there was quite a few. So now we're going to put the forestry mower on, and he's got a couple of spots that need to be cleaned up where he has a bunch of brush and maybe some more stumps, and he has some junk that needs to be cleaned up. So tomorrow we're going to be bringing the excavator up, cleaning up a shed and some of the junk after we get done forestry mowing the edges to make it accessible to even get the junk out of there. So done with the stump grinder, onto the forestry mowing. Okay, so this is the forestry mowing situation. We have some overgrowth in the yard here that the previous owners of the property used for some like decoration. Like there's a big rock, there's a big rock. And they had some sort of like koi pond in the center. But they didn't take very good care of it. And so now we need to at least clean up quite a bit. I don't know if we're gonna take down all the trees yet, but we're gonna thin it out quite a bit. We'll have to be a little careful though. There is like those rocks back there, but there's also, I don't know if you can see them, there are some power lines. So I'm gonna try to tackle this middle section here first, where there's not anything tall, and then come in and push these bigger, taller trees away from the line is the plan. So, but we are focused on just getting the scrub out of here, the short stuff. So as you can see, it's pretty thick area, some pretty taller trees. I'm standing right underneath of the line now. So like I said, we're gonna try to push these trees that way, away from the line in either direction. But main goal first is just to get this stuff in here, and the same thing, the short stuff down here. So we're kind of running against the clock. We got a little bit of a rain cloud coming in right on the edge of it. Hopefully it holds off so we can get some stuff done. Okay, so this is just a little update video of what's going on here. And we have this line that goes right straight through where we're working, and that's the junk right there that we picked out of here. It's got bricks, it's got rocks, obviously it has a little bit of dirt and wood in it too that we just didn't sift it, but we tried to sift most of it, but a lot of it was below grade and had to be dug out. Big rock, pieces of concrete. There's also a satellite dish. It's over in the dumpster over there now that we pulled out. But what I did, because these trees were really close, like that one right there, they wanted to leave those. But on this side, they were also close, but didn't want to leave as many. So these ones that were in danger of hitting the line, I took the excavator and put it up, the bucket up high, and then just bent them down and broke off the tops. That way that we ensured that we didn't hit the lines over there. This is the last one. I've already ground the rest of this stuff up. This is the last one. You can see the top there. That's actually where I broke it off. So you go about 10 to 15 foot up and break them off. That way they don't go quite as far when they fall. Then here's that satellite dish and pole I picked out with the excavator. Wire, another chunk of concrete. So, but I get out every once in a while just to double check and make sure anything that I'm going to go into with the mulcher and topple with it won't make it to those power lines over there. This cherry tree right here, it's pretty tall. Probably won't make it, but I'll probably just use the excavator anyway because I can control it on the way down as well and pull it back or push it forward or push it over to the side a little bit easier than I can with the mulcher. I can control it with the mulcher a little bit, but once it starts going, it's going. Again, they're leaving 2 trees over here. So that one and the one on the other side of the mulcher, but these from here over are going. And then we're gonna start on this island of trees over here. And eventually we're gonna get to the shed and knock it down. So, and that bush beside the shed, it's gonna get mulched up. The shed's just gonna get crushed and put in the dumpster over here. So, got quite a bit more work to do yet. Hopefully we can finish up today. This is the second island that we've been working on. Here's some of the trash that we got out of it. It was just laying in different spots. We're still gonna take down that group of trees right there and one of these and then cut off that stub coming off the other one. He wants to save that tree. But then he added on to us this grouping of trees, not the big one in the center, but all the dead ones. And then this island over here too. We're gonna do it as well. One of the challenges as we get smaller and smaller is keeping the material on the island or in the island and minimizing the amount that comes out into the yard. Now he doesn't care as much about this section because it's more of a side yard transitioning into a pasture, but we're gonna try to grab some of these and some of the material in here and put it over where we've already been mulching just to help minimize the mess. So that one won't be too hard, but these dead ones, I'm actually not gonna go into them with the mulch because they'll break apart. And some of them, it's hard to see with the sun, but there's that line again from that other, hard to see, but it runs right here. That building's coming down, but some of these dead pieces could hit that line. So we're gonna grab the excavator and we're gonna grab the top of them, the first 5-6 feet, and break them off and put them over here in this mulch. And then we'll tear down this building, mulch that little clump of bushes and saplings over here, and just make sure we clean up all of our big pieces that shot out, like this right here or this piece right here. Clean up our debris that we found underneath. So I'm going to take a moment and just kind of explain what I'm trying to do other than tear down the building. But we're trying to maintain all of the debris on the current footprint of the shed. That way, any of the glass, nails, any other trash that we have here, it stays in that one spot, and we don't have to chase it around the yard nearly as much looking for all that stuff. So I'm just trying to crunch it up right now into small pieces, and then I want to move the dumpster over there and load it all up. If this is a bigger building, I'd probably load it as I went. All right, getting it cleaned up slowly but surely to the portion where you have to go through by hand. He wants to leave this concrete piece here. He might use it to plant something in, flowers or something. He knew it was here, but he didn't know what kind of shape it was in, and after seeing it, decided he wanted to keep it. But I'm just cleaning up the bricks. We've had lots of bricks here. And I still got a little bit more over here. As you can see, how the little shed is gone. And there's a few bricks in this piece here. I scooped some of them up. There's a whole row right here. But pretty full. Didn't put too much on it. I don't want it to get too heavy either. So put this bucket on, and probably one more bucket like that, maybe, of bricks over there in the other pile. And then we'll go through with the mulcher one more time, get stuff like that, 2 pine trees over there, and just clean up these little piles and try to make it look decent. All right, so we finished up. I'm gonna take you through what we did. We'll start down here. And before, just for reference, standing right here, you couldn't see the house at all. And these are the power lines that we had to be careful about, because we had trees that were just as tall as the ones that are still standing here. They wanted to keep these. They might still get rid of a few of those, but they want to see which ones will grow out the best. And they wanted to keep these bushes as well. And so this was all thick. It was very, very difficult to walk through. They also had a bunch of stones. Previous owners, they had some sort of landscape. You can kind of see the stones right there. Had to watch for those. But there was several in the center that we really had to, we can go this way, that we really had to watch out for. And several that were just over time had kind of sunk into the ground. And then there's some metal, things like that. So it really helped out to have the excavator here, because I could just scoop all that stuff up and put it in a pile. And you saw the pile earlier that was sitting right there. And then there was another pile over here, because where we're standing right now was grass. You get like a tractor through there. And then we had another island where this tree is. And there was a bunch of bricks in this area right here. And again, scooped them up. And then that island was a little bit smaller than the first one. Came to about right here. And then there's another island down there. And there was another one right here of dead trees around this cherry. And kind of had to watch these lines again that are over towards the center. It's hard to see with the sun, but you can see the pole really easily. And there was dead trees and saplings that were growing up high enough, a few, not all of them, but a few were high enough to where they might hit that, or clip it at least. And I'd like to not buy them a new electric line. And then right here where you see the majority of dirt, this is where that shed was. And then the bushes and saplings beside it, and they wanted to keep that tree. So now you have a area basically starting from scratch for the most part. He can scrape this off if he wants to and put it down over in the woods, because he's got several acres here. Or he can just let it sit and it'll rot, and he'll have grass eventually. Probably be a year or two, but he'll have grass eventually. So a lot less work than chainsaw and chipper. And we just had a big enough dumpster. Shouldn't be overweight, I hope. I don't think it will be though. But yeah, quite a bit of work. Kept on adding on a few things here and there because we did, first day we did probably 50 stumps out in his hayfield. Here are some before and afters, and a little bit of stuff that we had to clean out in order to do our forestry mowing portion. You never know what you're going to find in the woods sometimes, but we were able to get it all cleaned up, and I think it turned out really nicely and definitely gave him more room of usable property. Thanks for watching our video, and call us to see how we can help you on your next project.